Welcome to the 34th episode of the Decompression Chamber. I'm your host, Mario. I'm sure you already know that. Our opening quote today is going to be from the film The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. And the quote goes, "It's a funny thing about coming home. Looks the same, smells the same, feels the same. You'll realise what's changed is you." Roll the intro.
Like into me, no doubt that I'll never be without my damn brain. Closed mouth, I'm clever and I know my damn shame. No cloud to the better, no one know my damn name. No bow, that shit what I guess we about to cascade.
Yeah, I think a very interesting part about like the transition that my life has taken in the last couple of years is, I guess, just being aware of that shift between childhood and adulthood. I feel like right now I'm in a stage of being progressively unloaded with more and more responsibility as an adult. I'm still living off the money that the government gives me to study, and a bit of help from my parents. I live in housing. It's not technically my own home, but I'm cooking for myself, I'm buying food for myself, that kind of jazz. I don't know, I'm right now in the middle of the shift between childhood and adulthood, and one of the things I notice is, since moving out, the very strange kind of surreal feeling of being back home, like being in the place that is home but it's no longer the place you live. That's only something that I'd really experienced full on until last September, when I moved out. But yeah, it's just an interesting part of life, really. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. I haven't filmed since Saturday, I imagine, when I filmed with Harvey. It was a really fun video. Wait, no, that couldn't have been Saturday. That was a week ago now. That was like Thursday. Very ridiculous. In any case, it was a great bunch of fun playing Centurion. I'm trying to convince my friends to do another game where we do 100 shots but only 50 seconds in between, but not many of them are being receptive to the idea. In any case, I really liked having Harvey on, and hopefully I'll be able to have him on in the future again, after having some other people on, where we can actually talk about, because me and him have such like good shared interests in terms of film, photography. Background light's gone. Yeah, we have such good shared interest, film, photography, lots of other things that we both like and share interest in, that we could have talked about, but because we were drunk and just having a bit of fun, whatever the video ended up being, it was. I literally have not seen it in a sober state since I uploaded it. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day, good week, good year, whatever. But I myself, I can't lie, I've been really doing well. I've been thriving. At the moment, I'm working, I've mentioned it in previous videos, as the focus puller. I'm first camera assistant for my next big upcoming project, and all that really means is that I show up, I help set up the camera. There are certain parts that I do, there are certain parts that the other AC, Scarlett, who's also awesome, do. And yeah, so I help set up the camera, I make sure that the shot's in focus using this special wheel and some measurements and some tape. It's gone from my head now, but the thing to record distance. It's one of those things. It's going to really kill me that I couldn't think of that. In any case, yeah, so I've been going to camera workshops, enjoying work with my camera crew. I've been going on some runs, and I've been encouraging my flatmates to come with me, and we've been making progress together, exploring some of the countryside on a longer run I did. Tomorrow I'm hoping to do like a 12 to 14 kilometer run. But I'll see whether that goes, because I did a 5k with a couple of my flatmates, legends, and it kind of hurt my shin. So we'll see where it takes us. And tomorrow, basically, I've got like this. It's called a run through, where pretty much all it means is we get the entire crew together. It's 10 people. Everybody performs their roles with the kit. I think we're gonna lay out. Oh, this was super fun. In our workshop today, we got to lay out track and put a dolly on it, which is any shot where you see the camera moving. Sorry, I was trying to prevent a burp, but I couldn't. Any shot where you imagine the camera is moving in a film, it's got to be moving on something that moves in a steady fashion. Otherwise, the shot will be all. So it's got to be mounted in a specific way. It's got to be flat because of the weight that's on the dolly. The dolly is like the wheeled vehicle that moves across it. It's got to be mounted in a special way. The operator's got to know how to do it. The guy who pushes it, he's got to know how to push it in a way that there's so much intricacy to it, and it's so interesting watching it play out. And so tomorrow we'll be able to take that out into like this orchard right next to our uni, crack out some of the equipment, and get to work, hopefully. But it's really exciting to get stuck in, and I'm kind of looking at it's been relatively busy in the last week since I've filmed, but it's not the kind of busyness that I dislike, where it's like, oh, paperwork, fucking finding information and doing fucking busy work. But it's actually been fun, like learning and getting new information. I should have been doing this goddamn essay that I've got to do about ideology in film, but we had this essay workshop with some of our teachers, and I gave them a very upfront like question about how I can improve my analysis in my essays, which analysis is pretty much like, it's the gravy of the fucking, it's the sauce, it's the hot sauce that you know, I mean, it's not even the hot sauce, it's not even the gravy, it's like, it's the meat of the fucking meal, it's the steak next to the chips, you know, it's, so I asked them about analysis, and they were so vague, it was wank, and to be honest, like, they went on some long-winded spiel about vagueness around the issue of analysis, but I kind of just wish they'd just been like, here's an example of bad analysis, here's an example of good analysis, this is the difference, this is how to make yours more like this one, and they didn't do any of that. So yeah, maybe I should press that point further, but who knows. And I've got a lot of distractions around me. This is true for life in general, but like the tap, whenever I turn it off, it was always just slightly dripping, and there's roadworks outside, and there's road noise, and I can easily be distracted, and that makes sense. It just kind of is what it is. And we've been watching more films together. Just recently, over the last couple of days, a bunch of people in my flat watched the Snyder Cut of the Justice League. For those who don't know, the Justice League was a film that came out in 2017. It was a mishmash of a film that had been made by Zack Snyder, but cut together with reshoots by Joss Whedon, and it didn't seem like a very cohesive film, and I was like, doesn't seem like my kind of thing. But the Zack Snyder version, I was like, listen, if this guy's put 4 hours of fucking film together and wants to get his version of the story out, like, I'll be willing to hear it out. I went and I saw it, or my friend pirated it, don't tell anyone, but and overall it was enjoyable, because we'd sit there together, kind of rip it apart, say, make funny comments, blah blah blah, but it was a bit of a mess of a film, really. None of the characters had any good substance to them. There was only a couple of them who had any arc. I'd say Cyborg and Batman, pretty much. You could say Aquaman slightly. Wonder Woman has nothing to do, pretty much, apart from, like, she's cool in the action sequences for sure, but in terms of like her character, how she progresses, and what she's like, in terms of, she's a statue, she's a goddess, you know. It's almost like the characters have no texture. They're just like cheap renditions of those superheroes. I don't know. Obviously, the whole Justice League thing was way more rushed than the Avengers, the Marvel. They put the pieces in place before they smushed it together. They didn't try and just, Jackson Pollock it straight away. But what was really funny was that only specifically for Wonder Woman, they had this music cue whenever she had like a dramatic moment where it'd be like, ah, like background fucking singing. And it was to the point where it was so comedic, because she'd enter like an action sequence, it'd have that background music, and then instantly it'd cut out once she's out of frame. And it just felt so like, there are certain things that films do that bring your attention to the fact that you're watching a film in a way that kind of snaps you out of it, and that was up there for me. And I was just thinking, instead of cramming all of this fucking stupid 4 hours into a film, this is what they should have done. They should have started the film as if the nightmare sequence, the kind of the parallel reality, the kind of everything's gone wrong world, they should have made that the established world. They should have established that as the fucking, and then, because this is what the Snyder Cut does, spoilers, if you haven't watched the Snyder Cut and somehow watching this, so if you haven't watched the Snyder Cut, fucking The Flash goes back in time and creates a new reality where they win, which in itself is kind of a cheap move, just using time travel. Like, that's a different discussion for a different day. But what I'm trying to say is that an alternate version of The Flash, and maybe Cyborg, because he has his own arc going, work from the original quote-unquote timeline, like, and then they work their way to figure out how to get to the nightmare sequence. They infiltrate that way, join what was going on at the end of the Snyder Cut there, and then move forward, But this is just an idea of mine I've had. We discussed briefly maybe getting together and choosing to throw some ideas around how we'd rewrite it and present it together in a video. So keep your eyes peeled, or your ears peeled, or whatever. It might be Harvey's got his own channel. I should have linked it in the description of my last video. I think it's called Harvey's Lofty's Campfire Presents. I'll link it below in any case. And yeah, so I'm trying to just keep everything balanced. I've been eating alright, I'm running, I'm doing schoolwork. I fucking need to get working on my essay, classic me. But I'm coming up to some holidays. I really am chilling. It's not like there are lots of parts in the day where I'm stressed or anxious, or at times I feel depressed, or at times I feel just flat, and that's okay, but overall, I've got a good system going at the moment. And something that I've noticed, I think, is that for big change to happen, it's not really like you look at something face value and it will change in a big way. But really, what big change is making lots and lots and lots of changes to little things, And this is obvious fucking speak, but it's just something I notice. When I just choose even a small choice, if I make the better choice, clean my room rather than just fucking continue to mess it up like I always do. It's relatively tidy at the moment, do the workout instead of just lie in bed and look at your memes for the next 40 minutes. I'm just trying to make the small good choices that lead me to where I want to be eventually, which is a better rounded version of me. I don't know, I kind of ran out of steam, but I hope you enjoyed watching this video, because I'm glad to be back filming. And I always say that I want to be filming more regularly, and then I fucking put it off, so we'll see.
Cap on for the shade. I don't wanna give myself no option, so I drop the visor just to wake up. Ain't no tripping, no